welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 C-section recovery products. If you're brand new here, my name is Erica. I had a C-section, my first C-section 3 weeks ago, and it was for my second son. If you didn't know, my first son was born vaginally, but it was super traumatic. I won't go into it in full depth. I have a bunch of videos. I can link some down below. So we opted for a C-section for the second time around, and I'm so incredibly happy that I did because, oh my goodness, in comparison to the first time, the C-section recovery has been a dream, and I think a lot of that has to do with these recovery products. So these are my absolute top 5 products that have been my go-to holy grail C-section recovery products in the past 3 weeks. I really credit them with me being able to get back on my feet and moving and feeling somewhat back to myself so quickly. So let's jump into it. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new here. I make motherhood and lifestyle content, and I would love for you to join our little family. Okay, now let's jump in. Okay, so the very first product that is a C-section recovery absolute must-have is a belly binder. I have a few belly binders. My hospital actually provided me with a belly binder, which I didn't know beforehand. So pro tip, if you are expecting that you will have a C-section, or even if you're not entirely sure, it's always just worth asking your OB, hey, does the hospital provide a belly band? Because I know that even with a vaginal recovery, some women do like the extra support around their abdominals, around their midsection. So if a belly band is something that you think you'll want, especially if you're having a C-section, then definitely ask and see if your hospital provides one. And if they don't, then you can check out a few on Amazon. I purchased this one on Amazon. I didn't end up using the Amazon belly band because my hospital provided me with one, and the Amazon one just it was a little too snug. It didn't actually fit when I was leaving the hospital, and I just felt a little more comfortable in this one. The one from the hospital is super straightforward. It's literally just a big elastic band with Velcro, but it kept me nice and snug, and that is such a huge part of C-section recovery, and just feeling like your insides are not going to spill out, and just feeling like you have that extra support, right? Because for a C-section, your abdominals are being cut, and so your abs are going to need that time to heal, and having that support around your midsection for your back and for your limbs is incredibly important. So definitely get yourself a belly binder. Next up is a big one that I would never have thought of had you guys not brought it up, and that is a breastfeeding pillow. So you might be thinking, what does a breastfeeding pillow have to do with C-section recovery? And let me tell you, so many of you had said bring a breastfeeding pillow because you're gonna want it for support around your midsection and to brace your incision against laughing, coughing, sneezing, any of the things. And let me tell you, oh my goodness, I am so incredibly grateful that you guys recommended I bring my breastfeeding pillow to the hospital. This has been an absolute lifesaver. Even just wearing it now, I'm 3 weeks postpartum, and it still feels so good around my midsection. There's something about having some support, a little bit of weight against your incision that feels so good, especially if you're coughing or laughing or sneezing. Those things still feel a little uncomfortable for me now, 3 weeks out, and if I'm walking around and I feel a sneeze coming on, I will hold my hand against my incision. But especially for those first few days when you're in bed, you're recovering, you're like newly out of surgery, you're definitely going to want a pillow. You're definitely going to want something to help. And it also was so helpful in the car, bracing against any bumps in the road on our way home from the hospital. And it was just fantastic, obviously, for breastfeeding. Even if you're not planning on breastfeeding, but you know that you're having a C-section, get yourself some sort of pillow. I mean, even if you just brought like a regular bed pillow, just something that you can have on you to help, again, brace against any sort of movement against your abdominals, or just to feel that little bit of extra added weight against your incision. I'm telling you, it just feels so, it feels so good. I feel like I just want to wear this for the rest of the video right here because it just feels great against your incision. It just does. The next one, high-rise underwear. I'm gonna show you the ones that I have on right now. So I have, okay, high-rise pants, right? Obviously a must. High-rise underwear. They made it onto the list. you need to get yourself some high-rise underwear for recovery. And 3 weeks out, I'm still in my high-rise underwear, still absolutely necessary. The C-section scar on most people is like right where it, like if you were to wear bikini underwear or low-rise underwear, the scar would be right where those underwear hit. So obviously you don't want to be wearing any sort of low-rise underwear as you're recovering. You don't want that against your incision. But get yourself a pair of really big, comfy, I cannot recommend these more. They are Ellen Tracy. I got them from Marshall's. They are, I've said in other videos, they're like butter on your booty. They really are. They're so fantastic. They're so elastic. They are so comfortable. They fit pads in them super well. When I was still using the huge hospital pads, I was wearing mesh underwear because I was just like not gonna try to fit those ginormous hospital pads into these underwear. But when I graduated from my mesh undies, graduated from the huge hospital pads to like the normal maxi pads, then I put these on. It feels so, and they feel good against your incision. That's like the part that matters the most, is that they're not, there's no fabric that is going to scrape or pull or catch on the incision or anything going on, like the tape or anything. They're just so incredibly comfortable. I cannot recommend them more. I don't know where you can get them online. I will try to find them and I will link them down below. Speaking of pads, a huge must-have for C-section recovery are pads. It would be easy to think that because you had a C-section or having a C-section that you won't be bleeding vaginally and that you won't need pads, but the opposite is actually true. You're still going to be bleeding vaginally. You're still going to need a plethora of pads. So get yourself a huge pack of maxi pads, the biggest pads you can find at the store. Your hospital will more than likely supply you with some of those like huge hospital pads. My hospital also sent me home with some like bigger pads too. So that was really nice. Once I finished out those though, I was so glad that I had these. And I've actually found that I was bleeding for a lot longer than I had originally thought. So even if you don't think you're gonna be bleeding for long, I would still get a pack of pads to have in your bathroom. It's always better to have them than not to have them. And these are the Always Maxi pads, just the biggest ones you can get. Love. And the very last thing, I mean, I would be remiss to be talking about C-section recovery products and not mention some sort of pain relievers or pain relief. I used a combination of extra strength Tylenol and Motrin. Now we had the Tylenol, I had ordered the Tylenol off Amazon before the C-section, but I didn't have the Motrin. Motrin was something that was recommended to me at the hospital. It was something that they were giving me. In addition to the Tylenol and the Motrin, they were also giving me in the hospital some stronger pain relief. But once I got home, I was able to manage my pain with a combination of the Tylenol and the Motrin. So my biggest advice with this section of products is to consult with your doctor. Ask your doctor beforehand what sort of pain relief they think you should have on hand, have in your little medicine cabinet. That way you have it. I had to send my husband out the day we got home for the Motrin, but avoid that situation for yourself. Go out before, ask your doctor, and pick up whatever pain relief they recommend that you have. All right, guys, and those are my top 5 C-section recovery products, my absolute top 5 holy grail products that if you are having a C-section, make sure you have. If there's anything that I didn't mention, if you've had C-section and there's something that was like totally paramount to your amazing recovery, then definitely leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.